Now let me start by saying that as a 24-year-old living in Australia, I don't really have any interest in getting married right now. In 10 years' time, that could change. In a year's time, that could change. But there are a few very, very good reasons why I think marriage rights should be extended to same-sex couples. When I grew up throughout my childhood, teenage years and schooling years, marriage was a huge part, a massive prominence in your life, whether it be in your actual life, in films presented in TV shows, books, or just in general conversation. It was always exclusively between a man and a woman. It was also a strong idea that the majority of people in society would strive towards, as long as you fit into that category. This very idea establishes a normality, setting up a precedence for anyone who exists outside of that category, that they aren't normal. Now, for a lot of people, this doesn't really affect, but the simplicity of a law being changed has massive impact, and I am not talking about the physical act of getting married. The knock-on effect this would have for future generations is enormous, because children would no longer grow up thinking that marriage is between a man and a woman who love each other, but it's just between two people who love each other. Think about that idea for a moment. That is a really strong idea to influence a child who is basically a blank canvas. They aren't born with opinions and politics and prejudices. It would finally normalize something that has been considered outside the norm and break down homophobia at its roots. A future where being straight or gay is no different from people having green eyes or blue eyes or brown eyes, or people having a different height. And yes, you may be a family that is completely accepting of it all anyway, and that is fantastic. But you can't control what the society around you is communicating simply through the definition of something. Now, I know there are plenty of countries around the world where being gay is still a crime, sometimes even given the death sentence, and I'm not for a second saying that the gay marriage in Australia is a more pressing issue than what is going on around the world. But this is something I can voice, and something that can bring us just a little bit closer to some form of change. And to top it all off, we would no longer be saying gay marriage, because that term itself holds a lot of power that even that is outside the norm somehow. It would just be called marriage.